Vols are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, March 16th, and in case you couldn't tell by me reading the date, Landon, this is March. What a day for college basketball. Shout out YouTube TV. No free ads. Actually, I'm paying for the service. Split screen is the greatest thing of all time, man. I mean, wow. I hate to try and like sell for $1 billion company or whatever, but
yeah, they're doing just fine on
for
their
sure.
own.
Worth it. Yeah, for sure. I hope Tennessee does not get sucked into the March party in the sake of 13/4, like we're talking about with Furman. But I have faith. I feel really good about the Vols' chance. We'll talk all about that. It is also SEC baseball is here. It has arrived. Tennessee is in Columbia, Missouri. And if you weren't sure if it was SEC baseball in March, times are getting changed just willy-nilly. Just all you want.
Yeah, and like they're different time zones, so like they don't. When Missouri tweets it out, it's like 3:00. Is that 3:00 my time or your
okay?
time?
So it's 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Oh, you got me excited. I thought maybe it was 5 p.m. Eastern. Dang it! Because I just saw one. I guess Tennessee's tweet. You got me fired up. That stinks.
Yeah, it's 3 local time. Yep.
That's the meanest thing anyone's done today. Not me sending out to everybody I know that I got Masters tickets as a joke.
Yeah, I was excited for you. I mean, I'm not even a soccer fan, but I know how hard they are to get, so I was super excited for you.
Masters is golf.
What'd I say?
You said soccer, which is fair. It is another game that I enjoy that you don't. I sent it to everyone. I sent it to a couple group messages like my brothers and then you all, and just ignored everyone. I was like, I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to make people sweat this one out. My brothers were arguing about who was going to go with me.
I'd be offended if you didn't take me. I just want to go for the food.
You should. That's smart.
Yeah.
I'll make you a pimento cheese sandwich. Don't worry.
It has to be hot pimento cheese. I don't think I could eat.
I agree.
Pimento cheese.
Yeah, I agree. Hot pimento cheese is gas.
Yeah,
as young people would say. You would love the prices. You would love the prices.
I've seen it. That's the only reason why I'd like to go. I might just throw my name in the hat every year just for that.
Smart.
And I'm slowly becoming a golf fan. Full Swing got me fired up. I mean, it got me fully torqued a little bit for golf.
All right. I love that. This is a show of tangents. I love this. This is college basketball.
There's not a ton to talk about. I mean, it's the first day. I mean, I guess there is a ton to talk about.
This day has been awesome. Oh my gosh. I was sitting with my grandmother earlier during the Furman, Virginia game, and I started screaming. I didn't have a dog in the fight, but that ending was perfect. I mean, it's why March Madness is one of the greatest events in sports, and we're talking about the Masters, so I just got to put it up against that. That's happening soon too, by the way. But yeah, that is not that Furman wasn't even a super underdog. A lot of people had the SoCon team upset in Virginia. That was a common pick. But the way it ended, you have a trap in the corner, throw out Hail Mary, caught deep three. I mean, it was just amazing, and I love it. You have Princeton upsetting Arizona. First off, we do got to give a shout out. We do have, it's too late. If you didn't join, sorry, you suck. But we are giving away tickets to the Friday night Vanderbilt game for our winner. I want to give a shout out to, what was his name? Walk Daddy 1. I don't like saying that name, Walk Daddy, but I'll say it because you are 100%.
He's walking that walk.
He had Princeton beating Arizona, man. Look at him.
Prince what?
I love it, dude. It's awesome. And you get the Joe Biden curse. He had Arizona all the way. Bracket busted. Sucks to suck. This is not a political stance. You just got bracket busted.
Yeah. Somebody definitely picked those picks for him, or he just went with like what he like has heard of before.
We need to go back and look at like the 1980 tournament.
Go very far, so that makes me feel a little bit better about Tennessee playing Duke because I think they were beating the brakes off Oral Roberts a second ago. So
they were up big. It was kind of hard to tell. I'm a little scatterbrained from watching 4 games. No big deal, but yeah, no, it's been a fun first day. Okay, let's talk about this before we go any farther. The first 4 games are not the NCAA tournament, correct?
No.
Okay, good. It is. I will say this: it is part of March Madness for sure. It's not the NCAA tournament.
No, the NCAA tournament is 64 teams.
And I know a lot of people use those terms synonymously, and I guess they should be used, but they are not the same, exact same.
Yeah.
But good for them though. First,
I would like a bigger tournament to just get into the tournament. I think that would be cooler.
64 team tournament.
Maybe
Final
not that
four.
many, but
Final
yeah.
4 gets in.
Yeah.
I like it. I love that. No, I think we should do that. Screw the conference tournaments. I'm sick of these auto bids. Get them out of here. Except for Furman. Furman deserved an auto bid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Were they in anyways? I don't even know, honestly. But anyways, yeah, I love it, dude. I love March. This is one of my favorite times of year. I've always been in the camp, the argument NBA, college basketball, which is the better product. If you're just talking pure basketball, it's NBA by a mile. But in terms of excitement and craziness and underdog story, it's March Madness. It's college basketball. And you get a month long of it.
It's great. I mean, I wouldn't recommend betting on it because, I mean, you saw today. I just did like a huge parlay in the first. I had West Virginia and like just a bunch of like large favorites, and I lost 3 of them. So don't do that.
I almost sent you all one. It had Tennessee losing. It had Furman, Boise State, who was down when I came up here, Penn State, and Louisiana winning. I thought that would have been a good emotional hedge bet. It was plus 8,000 something. But then you also got to bank on 3 teams that I don't give a crap about winning. So,
yeah.
or losing, depending on how you look at it. So,
and it's weird when you're making a bracket, like you know these things are going to happen, but you're trying to like pick which ones are going to happen. I
thought Furman for sure wasn't going to because so many people had Furman win.
100%. And I was like, there's no way a Virginia team that lost to a 16 seed is going to lose to a 13. And they did. So good for them. It makes me feel
next year. Final four next year at least, right?
I think they have in their last 4 tournaments, they won a national championship and lost in the first round the rest of the time.
That's the dream. Listen. All right, hot take time. That's the dream. Because not only do you get a national championship, which is awesome, in one of the toughest sports to win a national championship in, you also get the joy of complaining about your team. You get it all, man.
Oh, yeah, full of content.
I love it. Like, that's the dream. I'm sorry. You can sit here and argue I'd rather play in 4 Sweet 16s. No. Let me complain a couple years and win a national championship.
Well, and like when you win a national championship, you've earned that right. Like, I'll never get fired. Like, Tony Bennett will never be fired at Virginia, no matter how terrible they look. I mean, everybody was saying, like, the reason they were going to be upset is because they play the worst style of basketball ever made. And, you know, it's predicated on, like, the 1960s when, you know, just run down the court, screen to try to get some open, post up. You know, it's just so boring and methodical. And that's why they thought Furman, which is a team that just live or die by the 3. And that was the only reason why they came back. And, you know, obviously that 3 at the end. But apparently that guy was like 0 for like 5 until he hit that one. I think in his post-game interview, he was just like, yeah, I haven't hit anything all day, so I knew that one was going in.
Shoot, dude. That's cold-blooded. I love it. What about good night, I'm blanking on their name. FDU. What about their coach saying We want Purdue.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, the more I watch Purdue, the more I think we could beat them.
That was my stupidity. It wasn't on him. Look, coach should say that in the locker room. You got to whether you believe or not, your boys got to believe. You got to say that. My stupidity is on the
Lasso song, baby.
Exactly. My stupidity is on the cameraman who he turns to and says, "I don't want Purdue to hear this," which in my mind is turn the camera off and nope, keep it rolling. And I mean, I don't know who that was, but I don't know if it was someone with the school or press. I have no idea, but what an idiot.
Well, I mean, he's got to know. It's kind of like the pardon my take thing when they do an interview and they're like, "Hey, answer this question. We'll cut it. We'll cut it." And they never cut it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he clears day, and good on him. You don't need bulletin board material for Purdue. I mean,
yeah.
I filled out a bracket this afternoon with Emily. We filled in obviously today's games, but I could have picked FDU to upset Purdue. I should have done it after that. Should have. Yeah.
Who did you pick to win?
I picked UCLA in that bracket.
Okay.
I think we talked about it. There's so many I texted you in Austin. Shout out Austin. I hate Kentucky, but shout out Austin. I really think Kentucky and Marquette, I think they have good opportunities to make it. I really do. I mean, just a nice bracket. I like UCLA's chance. Texas A&M, a 7 seed, has a really good opportunity to get to the Elite Eight, Final Four maybe.
They just got to beat Texas. If they beat Texas,
they just got to beat Texas, which is, I mean, good matchup.
Rivalry, baby.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of teams that have really nice positions to advance, and this is a year that I could legitimately see every 1 seed in the Final Four.
Yeah.
If you told me that, I'm not saying it will happen. I didn't put any in my brackets, but I could see it. If you said that, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Look at who they've had to play.
Yeah. I mean, look at Alabama's road. I mean, Virginia's out and Arizona's out. So their road is cake.
I think Purdue has the toughest.
Which they should, because they were borderline. I don't know if they should have been a 1 seed.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I hear that, but yeah, probably having to play Memphis in the second round if they can get past FDU, who they could get beat by. You heard it here first or second. You heard it here. We are the reception when we say now introducing for the very first time. So now saying for the very first time, FDU can beat Purdue. Then they get Memphis. Then they get Duke or Tennessee. Duke, who listen, I really hope Tennessee wins tonight, gets a chance to play Duke, but Duke is hot right now. My clinging hope is the ACC was not very good this year. They were very highs and lows.
Hey, you want to hear something? If Auburn wins this game, the SEC's 4-0. I mean, I know coming into the tournament, we weren't looking like the hottest conference, but yeah, maybe it doesn't make you feel good about the game tonight.
Say that.
But I mean, hey, we're battle tested, right?
We are battle tested. That's true.
I mean, we're the hottest conference in the tournament.
I like that phrase. But I do want to run through Tennessee's and / Purdue's side of the bracket real quick, just because Kentucky's still.
We got a friend. Do we need to go ahead and?
Oh my gosh, Landon, that's great. Can I? Okay, I'm just gonna rattle these off. Kentucky, who I think's good. Kansas State, who I think's pretty good. Michigan State, who's a March team, right? This is when they show up, right?
I mean, I guess the green.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Have to be. And then I mentioned Marquette. Okay. Sorry. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Tough bracket. I do need to tell you guys about some of our friends. Some of our best friends. They're awesome. Underdog Collectible. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectible store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. Stop by the University Commons Shopping Center next to Publix and Domino's to check them out. Open 6 days a week with live YouTube shows 3 nights per week. Remember to always bet on the Underdog. Shout out to Underdog. I'm looking at pictures of Maui Huna signed, Chase Dolander, Christian Moore. Love it. Those NIL events they have are awesome. Great store in there. You can get cards for anything, all the way from NFL to Pokemon. I mean, it's awesome. Also, college football cards, which I don't know how popular those are in the card. I'm not big into card collecting, but I personally do what?
The rookie cards.
The college football ones? Are those classified as rookie cards?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They're not a professional. They're a rookie. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know how it worked. Okay, see, I'm not big into card collectibles. But as a Tennessee fan, I personally would value those higher. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, those are some of my favorite too, which they're probably not everybody's.
Right. If you're a card collector, probably not.
Yeah. I got a Big Ben rookie card that I got one time. It was like my favorite one because it was him without a helmet. He was just like in a jersey on the sideline. It was awesome.
Probably had a boot on.
Yeah, probably.
So is that Big Ben in a Miami jersey and it's Miami red?
So this was a rookie card, but he like just got drafted with the Steelers. So he had a Steelers like jersey on.
Gotcha.
But no pads. Okay. We do have a giveaway. One of my favorite things to do on the show, giveaways. We got a special giveaway presented by Underdog Collectibles.
Courtesy of Underdog. Shout out to Underdog.
Yeah. So Tennessee Sports Show happening this weekend at Knoxville Civic Coliseum. They'll set up Underdog will have a booth there. Tons of people there. John Wilkerson will be there. Just a bunch of Tennessee sports heroes, Peerless Price, Travis Stevens, Travis Henry, Chris Lofton. Just tons of people there. So we have 2 passes to give away to 2 different people. So going to rattle those off. You want to give me a little drum roll, Caleb?
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear this, but
Patrick Eady. First one.
Patrick Eady.
Friend of the pod. Appreciate you, brother. You get to go this weekend. We just need a name, an email. If you want to DM, if I don't hear from you, I'll DM you. But if you want to DM us your name and number, we'll get that over to Underdog, and they will send you that pass. Also, Mike Kelly is the other one. Mike Kelly gets a free pass to the Tennessee Sports Show this weekend.
2 first names. I love it.
Yep. Send us your email and name, and that's all we need. Thanks again. Thanks for everybody who joined in. We have tons. We'll have some more giveaways as well as the season goes on, but love doing that. Love teaming up with Underdog to kind of do stuff like that. So appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. All right. Back into the show / end of the show. We've talked about March. Do you have anything else for – I know you kind of mentioned it's just started up. It's just fired up. Anything else you want to give your piece about before we move on?
I mean, I appreciate Virginia and Arizona kind of getting those out of the way. I mean, if I feel like the pressure's off, right? You don't want to be the first one. And you won't be the worst one. So that makes you feel better, right?
Yeah, I hope this is Tennessee's not the cursed team. Now maybe it's just a wild and crazy March and we see more of these. I hope that's not the case. But let's see, 4-13. The other ones are that's what I'm banking on. Those are tomorrow night. That's okay. So I'd pick Kent State. That's good news for Tennessee, right? Three teams, 3-13s can't win, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
okay, and Kent State's going to win, right?
I feel like the 5-12 one's always a big one, but 13-4, like those are usually like 4s usually win that one. So if one goes down, I'm feeling pretty good.
I think the only 13 seeds I did not pick in any of my brackets were Furman and Louisiana. I took Iona in one of my brackets.
I think I had Charleston.
They can make quick work.
I think I picked them to win. They lost to San Diego State, but hey, whatever. I mean, if you didn't already rip up your bracket, I guess you weren't doing it right. That's what I'm telling you.
You don't rip it up. You relish in how stupid you are for a month. It's awesome.
A lot of red on there already. A lot of red.
Exactly. All right, let's jump into I think why everybody's here tonight specifically. If you're with us tonight, if you're listening on Friday, congratulations to the Tennessee Volunteers to moving on to the round of 32. All right, let's get in it tonight though. Should we do another one? No, we shouldn't. All right.
Congrats.
Yeah, I really do feel good about this game. But with Tennessee's inconsistencies, and my biggest fear is inconsistencies down low, I do have a lot of nervousness about it. and it's at 9:40, which doesn't make me personally feel better.
Well, I feel like one way like Tennessee can really benefit from this, like Jordan Brown is obviously their top player. He was top player in the Sun Belt, 19.4 points per game, around 9 rebounds per game. Was a former 5-star recruit, signed with Nevada with Eric Musselman, and then transferred after he left to Arizona, and then left that, and then ended up at Louisiana where his dad played. So, I mean, he's solid. 6'11", 250, something like he's a big presence. I would feel if it was a couple years ago where Tennessee lacked size, I would feel a lot worse about it. But Tennessee has size. Now it's not consistent, but I feel like they can throw bodies at this guy to make him uncomfortable. Whereas I feel like teams in the Sun Belt aren't able to do so.
Right. I do like as well talking about that. And yes, inconsistent, but Tennessee has been able to, for the most part, find at least one guy. That's hopeful for me. I also like that Tennessee can throw size in various ways at him. You have Kumwa and Plavsic and Tobe Awaka who can go and bang around with him for X amount of minutes you need. And then you have a guy like Jonas Adu who is a true rim protector, who is long, that can come in there and hopefully give you the benefit of making points around the basket extremely difficult for him. So that is my hope. It's just the inconsistencies that scare me, because that's where you need it tonight on the defensive end, at least.
Yeah, and hey, it's win or go home. So like there's no more, we'll get it fixed. It's do or die. So hopefully this team, as veteran as they are, hopefully they've learned. Like we mentioned, they're battle tested, but this is a team who's been in this situation before. Now it's time to kind of put it all together. You can't dwell on not having Zakai out there. Like no one cares anymore. We care because we're Tennessee fans. Obviously you don't want to lose Zakai, but when you have a 4 next to your name in the NCAA tournament, no team's going to take it easy on you because you lost your point guard. They don't care. So I think use that as kind of motivation. Obviously, seeing teams go down, I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse. Maybe we can ask that as a question. Is it better or worse that other teams lost? Does it make you feel any type of way toward this game?
Yeah, I hope my answer is it doesn't matter, because it doesn't. So I'm trying not to think about it, and you heard me ramble on for 15 minutes about it just now. So I think my feelings, but I mean, I do want to pretend it doesn't, because it doesn't. I do kind of want to flash back to some key points that key things, I guess, that I think Tennessee's got to be successful in. And I think Tennessee's got to find a way not to get overextended defensively. I know we like to play help defense. I know especially with Jordan Brown down low, there's going to be a lot of it. But this is a team that doesn't shoot threes often, but they can make threes. And don't give them open looks. This is a thing that's really, really plagued Tennessee in March. I feel like since Rick Barnes has been playing in March with Tennessee basketball, or coaching with them, I guess, it just feels like teams get hot. And so I think it's going to be hard to not get overextended because of Jordan Brown's going to require help defense. Like a guy averaging 20 points a game requires it. But you got to work to not get overextended and let guys sit out wide open on the perimeter, because they will take the shots and they probably will make them. So, I mean, I think if you're Louisiana, you can't even think about going away from Jordan Brown ever in this game, no matter what the score is. Like, he's your guy. He's where you go. So I do think that helps Tennessee, but don't make them think they can win out on the perimeter. That's not going to be good for us. And I mean, obviously there's a chance they try to do it anyways, even if you're playing good basketball. If that's the case, sure, why not? But don't let them hit open shots and then start going there for looks. That's just disaster written all over it. Good guard play on both ends of the court, especially offensively. I mean, we talked about this. I feel like we talked about this for a while. If you want to win ball games, it's Josiah Jordan-James and Santiago Vescovi scoring. That's who it is.
Yeah, I have it written down. Josiah can't no-show like he did the other night. I mean, that's
right.
Through this whole tournament. There's not like one game. I mean, I guess if you're looking at it, maybe this is the only game that you can have kind of an off game, and it might not cost you. But you still don't want your fifth-year guy to no-show or I guess fourth-year guy to no-show like he did the other night. I mean, you're too big and too seasoned to not make a shot. I think he was 1 for 7 to not make a couple shots. You have to make your presence known, and he's usually the guy that filled up the stat sheet. I mean, there was a bunch of zeros, maybe some ones in a couple categories, but that was it.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing too. Josiah, and I think Vescovi, you need him to be on. With Josiah, you don't need him to be on, but he can't be, like you said, missing.
Yeah,
that can't be the case. He doesn't need to carry you, but you need him to be playing. He's got to knock down some shots. I think that's huge. I think Tyreek Key, you saw him have a good game against Missouri, but maybe he just kind of picked up slack, and that's where it came from. I think you don't need, what was it, 16 points? You don't need 16 points from him, but you need him to knock down his shots.
Yeah.
That's what you need from Tyreek Key. He's going to be a guy that comes off the bench. He's got to find a way to bring energy to the court. Which I don't think he's not doing that. But maybe do it in a more efficient way. Felt like he's been a little he's either turnover happy or he's setting up teammates to be turnover happy. I mean, he's not a ball handler. It's not all on him. Tennessee's been stuck in a bad spot, losing Zakai Ziegler this late in the season. That makes it difficult, but you got to be smart with the basketball. If you want to win in this month, you got to protect the basketball.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, got to be ready for anything. I mean, you're going to get Louisiana's best shot. That they want to
give them your best.
They want to have a Furman game. They want to have a Princeton game. So don't let them have that. Hit shots early. I feel like one kind of key to this game is, Jordan Brown, as much as he's going to get the ball, keep that man in foul trouble. He's had at least 4 fouls in 12 of his 29 games. I mean, that's one way Tennessee can kind of run away with this one. Get him in foul trouble early. Prevent them from having to go to him every time because he's sitting on the bench with 2 or 3 fouls early in the first half. Just try. I think that's where I would go is, if they're going to go to him on offense, hey, go to him on defense. Let's make him work. Make him a little worn out. Don't let him just rest down there on the block and let us dribble around the perimeter until, the shot clock's low and then chunk up a 3 like we have.
Yeah, and I think our bigs do a decent job of going at guys. Now, the fault in that is they always go at guys. But they do a decent job of making guys hack or get in bad positions because they're going to shoot. So I think that provides opportunity for that foul trouble. But you got to have those guards that are willing to put their head down, go to the paint, and either make him make a play or foul you. Like, that's what you got to do. Mm-hmm. If you get him out of the game, Tennessee's odds skyrocket.
Yeah, but I like what you said. Don't overextend because they led in the Sun Belt in 3-point percentage, 38%. Now they don't shoot a ton because obviously they get it to Jordan Brown. But when they do, they are efficient at it. So you don't want a team like that to get hot. They have 2 guys that shooting over 40% from 3. So can't let them get hot. But yeah, I think you got to trust some of your guys. And at this point, if you can't trust the players next to you, I mean, you're not going to win anything.
Yeah, I agree. And then I think maybe part of that trust too is patience. If you don't get a good look, Josiah's been a lot better about it since he's been back. He's not a guy I'm very frustrated with about shooting those early in the shot clock, well defended shots. Listen, if you shoot a wide open shot early in the shot clock, you're not going to hear complaints from me. But do not do it guarded. I think part of that is trust. Know that your next pass is going to be to a guy with a better opportunity than you. So I like that point too. You patient, but urgent. And I don't think a lot of people were frustrated by the Missouri game and what was called lack of effort. I don't think I've ever been frustrated with this team's effort. There's some, I don't even think they're rebounding while that is a lot of effort. I mean, their rebounding is more just due to it seems like we don't know what to do sometimes when the ball goes up.
It's usually we have 4 guys on the perimeter, and I would say probably only 2 guys should be on the perimeter with how most of them is shot throughout the course of the season. So,
well, and I just get frustrated because we'd rather jump than box out, which again, I mean, we are going for the ball, so I'm not questioning the effort. I'm just questioning why in the world would you not turn and put your big fat behind on that guy behind you or beside you? I don't understand it. Listen,
speaking like a true junior pro coach right there.
I'm pretty sure my dad said that a lot. I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8", so just about everybody I've ever played basketball against has been bigger than me, and I got a lot of rebounds. And I know
you have a fatter behind than them, though.
It's true, fair point. Thick thighs save lives and balls from going to the other team. No, I mean I'm joking. I'm a terrible basketball player, but no, take that back. I'm phenomenal. But yeah, no, I don't think it's an effort thing. I think it's just you got to be willing to put body on body. Shout out to Tobe Awaka. That dude, I don't even know if he jumps for rebounds. He might push into the ground, and sometimes there's nowhere else to go but up. He knows how to put body on body.
Yeah. And, the little antics that Urosh always has in a game, especially with a big – I mean, it's not wanted, but I feel like in this game, like you want to frustrate the crap out of Jordan Brown. If he's walking with the ball in his hand after like a whistle, hey, maybe tip that little thing out and see what happens. But
listen, say something to him, but not loud enough for the refs to hear. That's the rule of trash talk. Say something to him, but just so he can hear it. No one else. You're not doing stand-up comedy. You're just trying to get him frustrated.
You don't even have to look at him.
And maybe it does suck for Urosh because he is an intimidating presence. So if he just looks that way, it could be taken the wrong way. Mm-hmm. So maybe we need to find someone else. I don't know, but if we get a technical foul in this game, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah. No free ones. No free ads. No free throws.
Make your free throws. Speaking of that. Speaking of things, if you want to win in March, what you got to do. You got to make your free throws. I'm not asking for 90%, 80%, but what we shoot in the Missouri game? Not this past one, the one in Thompson. Bad.
It was like 40%. Yeah, terrible.
It was ugly, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I like what you said about this team, just to kind of wrap it up for me. Battle test is the truth. You've seen this team struggle. You've seen this team win big against quality opponents. This team can play with anybody. It's can they get up for anybody? I think is the biggest question. You know they can get up for Kansas. I mean, I know we're dogging Arizona right now. That's a good basketball team. You went toe to toe with them at home or away for Tennessee. You beat Texas again. No, it's a home game for Tennessee, but you beat them by 11. I mean, this team can play with anybody. So beat Alabama, beat the number 1 overall seed. How did I forget that? Holy crap. So it's not can they play with anybody. It's can they get up for this Louisiana game and not – I mean, I think Tennessee's a better basketball team, so I'm not saying way better when I say this, but not play down to your opponent.
Yeah, like how far can you go? I don't think any realistic Tennessee fan is thinking this team wins the whole thing. But when you look at today, I mean, you got as good of a chance as anyone. I mean, you've beat the number 1 overall seed. You've beat Kansas, which is also a number 1 seed. You've beat Texas, who is a number 2 seed. Like you have as good as wins as anybody. Looking at today, it's like anybody can beat anybody. Right. So even without Zakai, I think this team, just dig a little deep and just take care of business. You're gonna have you're gonna play good defense. Hey, let's make some shots. Have a little bit of confidence about them. That's what I think this team lacks more than anything is a little bit of confidence, a little bit of swagger to them. They had some swagger when they were beating the crap out of teams. And when they struggled a little bit, lost those 2 buzzer beaters, I feel like they lost a little bit of their mojo. And so I want to see that back. It's March. Hey, clean slate. Let's go. Let's take care of business. That's all I want.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I'm not telling the team to necessarily look ahead. I know maybe a coach would never want to hear this, but I think when you look at what's in front of you, not just the opportunity to go do something special in the NCAA tournament, but to do it in an awesome fashion for the University of Tennessee, I think you should take pride in what could be ahead of you if you go take care of business tonight. You're talking ACC champ Duke, blue blood, and Tennessee's been in a weird spot where they play good basketball, but not enough to put their names up there with those types of teams. I mean, even though you beat teams like Kansas just this year, you beat Gonzaga, I know, in a preseason scrimmage, but you get the opportunity to then go play either Memphis, in-state rival, who I know Rick Barnes would love to beat the crap out of, or Purdue, who a lot of Tennessee fans are, and I'm sure Rick Barnes, are sour about from 19. And then coming off that, you could potentially play Kentucky. I mean, you should relish in the fact that you could play your arch nemesis in the NCAA tournament in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. Sorry. You should love that opportunity. So, I mean, I think this is with what you have in front of you, I think this is something you should look ahead to and say, we take care of business tonight, we get Duke. We take care of business Saturday night, we get Purdue or Memphis. This is something you should love. The opportunity.
If Kirby Smart's able to like convince that Georgia team like they're underdogs, I mean, it should be pretty easy to convince this team that no one's projecting them to win. I mean, people are projecting them to lose.
Did you say underdogs? Did you say Jalen Carter? Thought you said hot dogs. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, my man got thick and slow. You think he's trying to tank?
Slow, not slow. I mean, Landon, he just got arrested for drag racing. He's not going slow.
Oh yeah. Maybe it was to make up for something else, but yeah, he is. You think he's tanking to try to get to a better team? He don't want to like be on a crappy team. Because I respect the hustle.
He didn't like what he heard around the combine. I mean,
your second contract's when you make money anyway. So
good point. I mean, I don't know if this is going to tank him unless there's stuff that we haven't heard about, because it sounds like that drag racing it's going to be a non-story. And I know a lot of GMs are going to say stuff in the media and they'll put out stories through guys like Schefter about how they don't take guys of character like that. It's why we do these interviews. Look at who you've drafted. Yeah. Don't give me that crap. So I don't think that would do it. 9 pounds in what? 3 weeks? 2 weeks? That's not good. But I mean, we're talking about a guy that if he put 9 pounds on in 2 weeks, this ain't the first time he's done it. He just did it at the worst time possible.
Well, and like, I mean, you got to get ready for beach season, man. Like, it's March.
He's not going to Panama.
You're going the wrong way.
He's not in college anymore.
You're going the wrong way. I mean, I understand, like, when it starts getting colder, you put on a little bit of sweater weather. I get that. Keep your body warm. But, you know, when it's getting warmer outside, you can't be putting on that kind of weight.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know what that would feel like. Yikes, I would. All right. I'm going to wrap it up for Tennessee. This is my last point about it. Just go win, baby, win. Survive in advance.
Absolutely. Let's get it. Take care of business.
All right, BaseVols. SEC play in Columbia.
It's here, man. I mean, we were talking about March. SEC play is here. The gauntlet's here. No more non-conference. No more – I mean, you still get midweek games, but, you know, no more weekend run rules.
Where you hit the ball a mile.
Literally. Yeah. I mean, I guess this team could.
They could. They could. Yeah. I mean, it was almost a guarantee the last few weekends.
Yeah.
That's why Chick-fil-A went ahead and you're going to get into SEC play and find out Chick-fil-A doesn't do that anymore after you gave away that life hack. They knew what was going to happen. They just went ahead and did it.
Yeah. And maybe Jalen Carter thinks he's going to Chicago, so maybe he is trying to get that sweater weather. He's trying to, you know, warm up, hibernate a little bit. Because this weekend it's gonna be cold in Missouri.
Yeah,
I mean, is it ever warm in Missouri? Does the sun ever shine? I don't think it does.
It's like Kentucky. Actually, it's exactly like Kentucky.
Why did we let them in the SEC? I mean, it just God.
Speaking
like,
of places,
no one likes it.
I'm sorry to get off track. I mean, I lived in Tri-Cities for going on 2 years. Dude, I don't think I've ever seen it sunny in Bristol a day in my life. Like, I know that sounds insane, but I'm serious. Do what?
It's never sunny in Bristol.
Dude, it's only ever rained or snowed when I've been in Bristol. Nothing else. I've tried to go to 2 Bristol races that have gotten rained out.
Oh God.
I know people are calling bullcrap. I swear. Never a sunny day there.
I mean, like, it was 60 degrees here, but like they're moving the game tomorrow. It's still going to be like 40 degrees. Like, it's ridiculous. They should have to play here. If it's under a certain amount, they should have to play here. Here's the thing. I mean, it was cold. It was cold on Tuesday.
Let me go pull up the weather for this weekend because this is East Tennessee, and you just never know.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it's not like they haven't played in this weather. It just like sucks the first weekend that you really get to see kind of what a team's about. You have to go play in crappy weather in Columbia, Missouri. So it is what it is. Tennessee's going to be ready to play. Tony Vitello's alma mater, so I'm sure he's going to be a little extra fired up this weekend. Missouri is a weird ball club. They're 13-3. They got some decent pitching. They can hit the ball pretty well. Luke Mann is kind of their go-to third baseman that can hit the ball pretty well. I think he leads them in home runs and RBIs. They showed out well at the college baseball showdown. They beat Texas. They beat TCU. Lost to Oklahoma State. They've lost a game to Florida International, and they lost to a game against New Jersey Institute of Technology. So they're a pretty weird team. There's some high-scoring games in there, so I don't think their bullpen is very good. I think they gave up a 5 spot to Lamar on Tuesday night. So they're kind of middle of the pack last year, and I kind of see them being that. They'll probably beat some teams like Tennessee if they could probably go 2-1 this weekend, and I think that's just fine. I mean, you always want to sweep, but it is baseball. It don't always happen. You go in, especially on the road, to win series in the SEC, in the toughest conference in baseball, and you want to win series, and that's what they're going to set out to do this weekend. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not going. That would suck.
Yeah, and I think this is a good opportunity for this Tennessee team. A lot of doubt around it, and it's hard to look at people across the country that question this Tennessee team and tell them they're wrong for questioning it, because I get it. And I'm not saying this Tennessee team can't be great. You kick off the season, Arizona and Grand Canyon losses, 2 good ball clubs, but not top tier. Seems like it's taken a while for Tennessee to settle in. Then you get that loss at Boston College, or against Boston College, and not in wonderful fashion either. A lot of mistakes. So I think this is a great time. Not that they're obviously not hit the right track, but to kind of start SEC play with a real punch in the mouth, if you will. Like you said, probably middle of the pack. That's pretty good in the SEC East, pretty good in the SEC. And so if you can go get a sweep this series, I think you'll turn some heads. And so I think that'll be big. And I am curious to see how our pitchers fare. Just that it seems like they've been able to find their groove, but they've had to find it. Doesn't seem like Tennessee started off in a groove much this year. So I'm curious to see what happens with Missouri. You mentioned they can hit the ball well. That's fearful. Obviously Boston College is going to made me regret thinking this, but giving up solo shots isn't the worst thing in the world. But hopefully you can keep it there.
Yeah, and the way Tennessee's hitting the baseball right now, I don't think it's a huge worry. Now, when they were struggling hitting the baseball, I think it was a worry. What are they going to look like during SEC play? Well, right now Tennessee's playing their best baseball. They got some guys that are playing really good right now, kind of found their groove. Those transfers, Zane Denton, Griffin Merritt, Maui Ahuna. Especially Maui Ahuna. He's looking like a All-American we thought he was going to be. I think at one point he was batting like 170, and he's close to 300 already. So, he's been on a tear his last 4 games. He's 8 for 21, 16 RBIs, 7 walks, 4 home runs. He's already third on the team in RBIs, or maybe tied for 4th now. And that was, he missed 8 games. So pretty phenomenal what he's done. And, you know, he kind of got his legs under him, and you know he's hitting the ball well at that leadoff spot, and that's what you want to have going into SEC play. Get a guy, you know, he had 7 walks in the past 4 games. He's a guy that can walk, very patient at the plate. So it's been really fun to see him kind of progress and get back to that high level of baseball that, you know, we all knew was in him. But, you know, there was some questions like, you know, he's struggling, he's pressing, you know, whatever it was, he's kind of overcame it and really looking good these past couple weeks.
Yeah, and it's good to see that. I mean, that it just pisses me off more that you sit him NCAA for 8 games. Whether you meant to sit him for 8 or not, you did. And it's taken him longer than he probably would like to kind of get back into it. So that's incredibly frustrating, but it's good to have him back. I also want to mention Blake Burke. Have we heard? Did we get him back from illness?
Yeah, he should be back. Yeah.
I mean, but you gotta listen. Everyone would love to have Blake Burke, but I mean, Hunter Inslee kind of said, "Hey, I can play too." So if he didn't, I feel good. I feel okay about it.
Yeah, Hunter Inslee's played well.
What a performance to just everyone's kind of looking for 2.5 down there, and no, it's Hunter Inslee hitting bombs.
Yeah, and he was available. Like he could have played if, you know, it needed to happen. Like they needed a pinch hit late in innings or something like that. But yeah, Hunter Inslee just like, I'll get things going with a bomb.
Right.
And, you know, plays a good outfield as well and came in and played first base. So he's kind of a do-it-all too, kind of like Kavaris Tears and some other guys in that lineup. So good for him because, like, that's a position where you have a role in some capacity. You might not start. You know, Blake Burke is going to play first base. But if there's an injury or somebody struggling, you know, who's that coaching staff going to turn and look down in the dugout and look for? Hunter Inslee, for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of Kavaris Tears, does he get bigger during games? Like, he looks bigger every time he comes on my TV.
He's a
monster.
He's a tank, yeah. He's going to be something. I mean, everything he hits is a piss missile. I mean, he's crapping on baseballs. And you love to see it. You love to see guys, especially this point in time, heading into SEC play. That lineup is getting more, I don't know how to tight, I guess. It's
ironed
like
out. Ironed out.
And it just seems balanced. You know, Maui Huna's batting at the top of the lineup. He's not getting all those RBIs if some of those guys aren't getting on base. So, you know, it's been really good to see him and Dylan Dreiling really step up and solidify their spot. I mean, it looks like Kavaris Tears is going to be one of your outfielders. And, you know, we talk a lot about his bat, but, I mean, for you to – he's not DHing, so they obviously like his arm in right field to be able to you know, throw some guys out. And apparently his arm's really good. We just haven't really seen it like we did with Jordan Beggs.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to get your thoughts on this because I find it an interesting talking point, I guess. Tony Vitello's not easy is not the right word, but it's kind of been a coach's dream the last 2 years where you just talked about how this lineup's taken some time to figure out and get the right pieces in the right place and guys beating each other out. Last 2 years has been, hey, these are our starters. If they struggle, they struggle. We're gonna roll through it with them. This isn't a battle kind of deal. This year, I think it's a statement year a little bit for Vitello, like decision making. How good is my decision making type deal? Because there is some competition. There is guys struggling in the lineup that maybe if it was a past year, or maybe even next year, they might get a little bit of the doubt that are, hey, we're gonna find somebody that can do it. So I think it's kind of an interesting talking point at how that lineup gets managed and what he can do with it. I don't know what are your thoughts on now? Are there guys that you're wondering maybe they should be? Are there guys that maybe you're wondering they shouldn't be?
Shouldn't be like in the lineup or
yeah, like guys you're looking at like I think he should be over him. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like always. Like in his limited time, I thought Kavaris Tears is always a guy I'm like, dude, like why is he not when somebody's struggling at the plate, like you're always going to think like, okay, who's next? Like who can we play over him? And I always thought Kavaris Tears could have used some more at bats earlier on.
Yeah, and real quick before you move on, that's what I'm saying is in years past, let's use. Oh, I'm trying to.
Well, even last year, I mean, everybody was like, Blake Berg, like every third at bat, he was hitting home runs. So we're like, why is he not starting? But I mean, you had a fifth-year guy and Luke Lipsius, who was a for sure thing at first base, and also was your career leader in home runs to finish it out. So
yeah,
I mean, like you're going to see him for him. So
yeah, that's a great example. A guy who they're going to roll with through the struggles because he's their guy. So that's the contrast I'm putting on the 2021 and 2022 teams. They were kind of set in stone. You knew what you were getting. This year's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I mean, you had to change up your lineup, but even last year, I mean, you kind of had to solidify it. I mean, I think, we got to speak with Evan Russell his first year on campus. He was playing like Kavaris Tears was. He was getting a bat, and he was just blooping singles and hitting a double and getting on base and, jumping into walls to catch some fly balls. Like, I mean, he was just doing everything you could possibly want. And at some point, Vitale was just like, well, crap. I mean, we got to freaking play him.
I don't. It's not that those guys haven't been a part of it. I mean, trying to kind of go back to last, but even the guys who hadn't played a lot up until last year had been around a lot. And once Jake Rucker left, you knew it was Trey Lipscomb type deal. And that's who you're rolling with. I think that's good. So like a guy who you could have maybe argued there was, I don't know, competition's the right word, but could have argued maybe there's another guy we plug in, but we're rolling with him. It's our Trey Lipscomb. Feels like there's a lot more open spots in this lineup that, hey, if you're struggling, we're going to find somebody right now.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think like that was your point of emphasis in the transfer portal is like, hey, we need this, and this. We lost Trey Lipscomb. We need a for sure third baseman. You go and get Zane Denton. Hey, we don't really, who's going to be our shortstop next year? We got a freshman in Jake Kendrow that's going to come in and play well. We got Austin Jaslov, but nobody is a for sure thing. Hey, you land Maui Ahuna. Same with Griffin Merritt. You're like, we need some of those home runs that Evan Russell and Jordan Beck and Luke Lipsius had. Like, where do we go? Hey, we'll go get a guy who hit 19 home runs as Cincinnati. So, yeah, it is different because, like, it's not a group where it's next man. It's just their turn. It's a guy that you've kind of, recruited and kind of built and developed into this lineup that it is now. I mean, Dylan Dreiling, I feel like they didn't necessarily want to start him. But, I mean, all he does is hit balls and gaps. So, I mean, you got, like, he's kind of got you to a point where it's like you have no choice.
Maybe you're right about that, and I want to kind of retract maybe that's the coach's dream. You find guys that make you play them. Evan Russell, great example.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Redmond Walsh, the same thing. I mean, Redmond
walks in the room, you know who Pimp Dog is. What are you talking about?
100%. Yeah, guys like that.
Definitely not a.
I feel like you do need those guys in your program though. Those guys are just like a part of it, in it. Like you have your guys that are going to go first round, but you also want guys that are just like Kirby. I mean, Kirby is not he's not going to be a first rounder, but he's got everybody's respect.
And talk about a guy to go to when you're in a pinch.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm most excited about for SEC play is what does this bullpen look like? You've kind of seen who all you have, but what is who's the first guy out of the pen? Do you go is Seth Alverson kind of your closer or Andrew Lindsay a closer? Can those guys go multiple innings? Is Kirby just a one-inning guy? Can he go multiple innings? How do you utilize everybody?
He's a 1AB guy sometimes.
Yeah, I know. It's like, hey, here's one pitch, one out. Go sit down. Take a few days off. I mean, that's a dream, right? Go and throw a strike and go sit down.
Absolutely. I am. You mentioned guys who are going to go several innings. That's something that Tennessee hasn't really needed at this point, so you haven't seen it a lot. I am very interested to see what happens once that's required. But I mean, you do still. The good news is you do still have Camden Sewell in there. That's the good news.
I mean, that's just an added bonus. Get him a little bit of reps already before SEC play, and where does he go?
Right.
I mean, you gonna throw Dolander 5-6 innings and then go Camden Sewell 2 or 3, and then finish it out with Halverson or Andrew Lindsay. You got Zach Joyce, Jacob Bemby. I mean, just and Xander Sechrist. Happy birthday, my guy. I mean, just shoving it.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, shoving it on Tuesday on his birthday. So
I love to, like, he struggles early on. You get
out of it, man.
I think got runners on the corner in the first inning and gets out of it. Easy peasy, nothing about it. I'm strutting on you.
Yeah, no damage done.
Also, I mean, I didn't look into Lipscomb at all. I mean, all they want to do is steal bags. I mean, good Lord. Everyone on that team, it felt like.
Yeah, they're going to take their chances. And they played a lot of SEC teams. I think they played Auburn already.
They got 2 against Notre Dame. That's not an SEC team, but just wanted to say that because I did listen to the broadcast.
That was a game that everybody was like, Tennessee could end up losing another midweek game because Lipscomb's not an easy team to beat, and they went in there and just freaking dogged them without Blake Burke.
Yeah.
So
how many pitchers did Tennessee see in that game?
Quite a bit.
Was it more than Boston College?
Dude, I feel bad for Morehead State, dude. They just left my man out to dry on Friday night. It was his first collegiate start, and they just freaking destroyed him.
Well, they just told him, like, we're just going to save these arms for tomorrow and Sunday. Just deal with it.
That was their Friday night starter. I was like, Coach, where are you at? Get this man out. I mean, I felt bad for the guy. Every time that they would hit another home run, he would look over at the dugout. That man was toasted.
He's like, he sent someone to the bullpen on his own. He's like, go.
Yeah, I'm sure when the coach went out there, he's like, where the hell you been?
I've had this ball for 4 innings longer than I should have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, feel bad for him. But, Tennessee's lineup's looking really well. And, I know we didn't talk about the starting pitching, but they're going to do their thing.
They are, and I don't want it to sound like I'm doubting them when I said, can they start in their groove kind of deal, but it's just one of those things that, I mean, when you get into SEC play, it's hard to every pitch matters. I mean, anytime. I mean, I feel like you saw that with Boston College, a team that hit the ball all over the park, and so and I know that's not your weekend starters that you saw in that game, but yeah, I mean, I think. Can you just try to? I have full faith in them. So it's just start hot. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
Don't make me sweat it. I sweat enough as is. I don't need help.
Yeah, the good thing about if you win Friday, then you get Chase Burns on Saturday. If you win Saturday, then you get Drew Beam. So pick your poison. But yeah, let's get the Burns out. That's what I want. I think Tony Vitello wants that too.
Absolutely. Or your lightsabers, whatever you want.
Yeah. That's all I got for baseball. Starting it up tomorrow. So we'll early tomorrow, 4:00.
4:00, and then I don't know what time though. You got a busy weekend here. We've got baseball all weekend, obviously. Tennessee basketball tonight, hopefully Saturday as well. Lady Vols take on one of the Saints. Pick a Saint.
St. Louis?
St. Louis. That's it. St. Louis. That's a 4-13 matchup as well. That's actually in Knoxville. Not sure the time of that game either off the top of my head. I don't have it ready.
I don't understand.
I think it'd be really cool for men's basketball.
You think you'd see less upsets if that happened?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know if I can't decide if Thompson helps us at all. Anyways, you lost to Kentucky. You did beat Alabama, but lost Kentucky. Buzzer beater against Missouri in TBA. I don't know. No idea. I have no opinion on it.
Any stupidities?
Shout out to Credence. It is at 1 p.m. Well, I shouldn't say p.m. You never know. Tennessee men's tipping off at 9:40 p.m. This could be a 1 a.m. game for the Lady Vols.
There's no way Tennessee starts at 9:40.
Oh, you're going later? Pushing it back?
I'm sure.
What's the game in front of it? I don't even know what channel it's on. I don't need to know. I got 4 TVs, mother.
It's on CBS, I'm pretty sure.
All right, let me see who the game in front of them are.
Yeah, don't put us on True TV.
But yeah, one more shout out to Credence. Just at 1 p.m. I want to. One more shout out. I don't TNT, True, TBS. I love when games are on TBS. It just makes me so happy.
I hate True.
Oh,
TV.
the CBS game I think was Duke. That's already ended. I believe that was the CBS game. They beat Oral Roberts by 23. Jeez. So it is a 9:40 tip. We're good, baby. We're good.
Auburn's about to win, so the SEC is going to be 4-0.
Dude, I said it to Landon before he hopped on here. I've got Auburn beating Houston next round. I don't want to play Bruce Pearl in March. I don't want to.
I'd love to beat them in March. That'd be awesome.
I mean, I would love to beat them. That'd be fun, but I don't want to play them. I mean, I'll never argue who I think a better tournament coach is. And I know it's a tournament sport, so that's difficult, but I won't argue about that.
Hey, we're going to rewrite the ship.
It's not that I don't want Bruce. It's the fact of like getting him back. It's the Lane Kiffin back. Well, Lane Kiffin's way different than Bruce, by the way. Never mind. I'm not getting in this argument because some people are just dumb.
Yeah. I mean, you can see like Ole Miss has no morals. They hired Chris Beard like right after. That man just.
I don't know. I don't understand the law. I'm just gonna go into that. I know domestic violence cases I think charges are dropped most of the time, but I'm just I don't understand anything. Okay,
right,
while we're talking about this, we're about to get into,
I said, all right, Nate Oates.
Right, Chris is in the wrong place at the wrong time. I do want to we're going to roll into some stupidities. So you see the report come out that Alabama's walk-on, good Lord, what was his name? Kai Spears was apparently in Brandon Miller's car at the time, or was with Brandon Miller. Yeah. New York Times said that was true from an anonymous source inside the, I guess, Tuscaloosa Police Department. Alabama said that's not true. Kai Spears' dad, who's the athletic director at Marshall, said it's not true. Kai Spears finally said it's not true. But when he was asked about it the first time, he said, I can't comment at this time. If you weren't there, I'm not going to say he's lying because I really don't think he is, because why and how could you lie about that? I mean, I hope he's not lying about it, and I just don't believe he is. But why do you not just say no the first time you're asked? Why do you no comment it?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I mean,
I think this boils down to bad PR for Alabama. Whoever is telling Nate Oates the questions he's going to get asked and how to answer them should be fired from their job. Period. Whoever is advising Greg Byrne, fired from their job. Like, this is lesson 101 on how to botch public relations. I mean, and I don't think you necessarily have to suspend Brandon Miller to have good public relations in this scenario, but the words you've said and other things you've done surrounding it are just so stupid.
Yeah. I'm going to laugh when they like suspend the walk-on and leave Brandon Miller.
It would prove they can't because everybody be right. But again, who knows with their PR team? They may. I mean, they're that dumb. I don't know. It's incredible how just that'd be tons of balls on Alabama's part to do that. Just say like, guys, I mean, we're not going to suspend Brandon Miller in March, okay? But that's even the dumber part. You pretty much had the 1 seed locked. Now that I guess you have to go kind of.
You could have had this whole thing could have been done with, and now like they can't wait to see you beat because of everything that's transpired.
Yeah, and hindsight is 2020, but you pretty much had the 1 seed locked up. Suspend him for a game or two. I mean, this is what I cannot understand. you don't have team rules about going out with a gun. I mean, and everyone's saying he didn't break the law. You don't have to break the law to get suspended from a basketball team, guys. You don't have to. And again, that's my personal opinion. I'm not saying they even have to suspend him, but it's just you have made it a PR nightmare. Again, there are the insufferable people who would sit here and say he should be in jail, he should be blah blah blah. With no, we don't have all the evidence. We don't know what transpired. We're reading news reports and hoping they're reported accurately. So I don't know it all. But I mean, he admitted that he drove the gun to the place. I mean, he was in his car. And that's my biggest argument. If he got pulled over a block away from that spot and the gun was in his car, it's in his possession. That's the law. That's that simple. But yes, I don't understand these people. I don't. And
did you hear Tony Mitchell?
Yep.
So he got arrested, but he got arrested because he was in Florida and not in Alabama.
I didn't know he was in Florida during this arrest. I saw the arrest. I did not.
Yeah, he was on a trip, I guess, for spring break. I'm guessing.
Probably.
Yeah. Got a possession with intent. So.
Well, I mean, why would he care? He's not going to get suspended.
Right.
Why would he care? Actually, he might.
It's just funny. Like, it just seems so crazy to me that weed is what it looks like from this point of view. It looks like weed is more dangerous than a gun. That's what it looks like.
There was also, I don't think it was in his possession because there was a passenger with it that I think said it was his. There was an unregistered gun in the car with him. And it was not just, and I mean, listen, I'm not saying weed should be illegal, but it was enough to be intent to distribute.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, he had tons of cash and scales and all that other stuff. So yeah, he was going down, but, I would like to know if he would have went down, if he would have got pulled over in Tuscaloosa.
He would have gotten pulled over, but
he ain't going to jail.
He would have been booked.
His mugshot isn't getting out.
Right. Well, I got national championship Mac Jones mugshot somewhere in my camera phone. He wasn't a national champion yet, though. That's why I'm saying this guy may get kicked off the team. They haven't seen what he can do yet.
Former Tennessee commit. I'm surprised that wasn't the headline. Former Tennessee commit.
I do have a real stupidity here. I don't know which airline. I'd love to shame them, but Jeff Goodman just said airline forgot to load all of Grand Canyon's equipment in Phoenix on the charter plane. They landed in Denver, have all the cheer and band equipment, not a single bag for the players, no uniform, shoes, everything. They said it was supposed to be coming last night. I'm assuming it did arrive. How does that happen, though, is beyond me.
Well, did you see? I don't remember what school it was because I didn't screenshot it, but they were like 2 hours late because of Air Force One.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They couldn't take off or something because Air Force One was in the vicinity.
Interesting. I did not know that. That's bad planning by the charter company.
Right. Yeah, you got to know.
Yeah. I mean, Air Force One didn't surprise you. It didn't surprise
they could have just asked me. I can track planes with the best of them. I would have known.
I do have a question about Grand Canyons. Did they not charter that flight? Were they just on a standard commercial flight? How did their bag? I have so many questions about how their bags got lost. Several questions.
Dude, I was on a flight with a college basketball team, and I remember this because they pissed me off because they were so slow.
But what division were they in? What conference?
It was like UAB or something like that.
Interesting.
Where
were they going? Do you remember where going to coming from?
I think we were leaving. It was in Dallas. I think we're going to maybe Little Rock to Dallas. Oh, it was Arkansas Little Rock. It wasn't UAB.
Okay. Arkansas Little Rock makes more sense than UAB to me.
Yeah. I mean, they just took forever. So I was just like, God, I had to look up their score. They got beat by like 35. So I kind of understood, but I kind of was like, this is what you get. I mean, I can't imagine how slow you are on the court.
Did you say any of
To myself, yes.
that? Just loud enough that you could hear it.
Yeah. I mean, I huffed. I huffed pretty loud, but words were not exchanged. No. I have one stupidity, and that's all I got. I got North Carolina not playing in NIT. I mean, it's just a bad look. I mean, I understand, like, that's not the goal, but, like, would you okay, here's would you rather lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament or win the NIT?
Dancing's dancing. Okay. I don't know that answer. I would rather win the NIT than lose in the playing game.
Okay.
I think I would rather dance.
Okay, what about an upset? If you're going to be upset, like, would Arizona wishes they would have won the NIT, or would they lose to Princeton in the first round?
4 and 13s. Yeah, those are pretty. Okay, those are pretty obscure. I'm thinking 5 and 12s aren't super obscure. Yeah, I made 4 and 13. What was Kentucky's? 15.
Arizona was 2 and 15.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I was thinking Furman and Virginia. I thought you said Virginia the first time. Did you say Arizona? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I said Arizona and Princeton.
Yeah, I think if I'm 13, this is going to come back to freaking bite me in the ass tonight. I think if I'm anything 1 through 4 and I'll lose, well, that wouldn't make sense. You wouldn't play in the NIT. I don't know. I don't know, man. This is a tough question. I would rather, if I was a 16 seed or, 13 seed, I would rather win the NIT than get blown out by 25.
Yeah. Well, and like Rutgers, they're like, yeah, they should be in it, and then lose in the first round of the NIT. And same
I would
Clemson.
rather, if I'm Oral Roberts, I'd rather win the NIT than get beat by Duke like that.
I kind of have another feel thinking of the Morehead State coach. Did you see him and Teddy Valentine slap each other on the ass?
I did not.
Well, it was like they like had a few words, and like the coach like patted Teddy Valentine, and Valentine just just reared back and just slapped him right back on the ass.
This game a good game?
Yeah, and Morehead State ended up winning. So I don't know if Teddy Valentine, enjoyed the ass slap, and maybe a few calls went Morehead State's way. Some are saying, I don't know.
Oh, so he's into that.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, when you actually look at him, he seems like the type, right? He seems like the type that enjoys a little bit of ass grab.
No comment. Alabama method. I do have one more stupidity. It's Dan Orlowski.
Okay.
I think I sent this to you. Marlon Humphrey, I don't know, I guess just random thoughts tweet, which, hey, I'm all about. I want to be able to shower and then have a full body blower draw me off. That sounds so dirty when I read it aloud. Did I read that correct?
That's a bomb.
I want to be able to shower, then have a full body blower draw me off. I mean, what? I didn't even realize how just weird that sounded. And
is
then
this
said,
erotica?
boom.
Are you is this 50 Shades?
Yeah, apparently. And then says boom right after. Shout out boom. No towel. How has someone not created this yet? Dan said, you're weirder than me. Marlon responded, does anyone really like towels though? Which is a weird response. I don't know if anyone likes towels. They're a necessity. I don't. Okay.
I wish the old men at Planet Fitness would like towels a little bit more.
I do like towels, by the way. A good towel. There are good and bad towels. I do like good towels. Then Dan responded, question is, how many times do you use a towel post? How many times do you use a towel post shower till you throw it in the laundry? I'm 30 times or so till it goes in. And no, I agree, but that air better be hot. 30 times? You use a towel 30 times before you wash it.
Dude, that thing is standing up on its own.
Dude, I don't think a towel could go 30 showers. I don't think it could go 4 showers before I throw it on the ground, just like while I'm getting ready. And then by the time I remember it, it has to be washed at that point. So I don't know what this man's doing.
That man's got so much mold.
Do you think he at least? So I operate with 2 towels at a time. Sometimes I shower twice a day. One's still a little damp, so I keep 2 in the. I keep one in the chamber at all times.
Okay.
So 2 towels hanging up, ready to go at any moment.
Shower twice a day.
Sometimes, not all the time, but I like morning showers. I have to have a morning shower. It helps wake me up, get me ready. And then depending on what I did that day, I'm showering at night.
So like your morning shower isn't like a full-on shower. It's kind of just like a rinse. Or do you wash both times?
Morning shower is like shampoo and all that good stuff. I do a full shower in the morning. Post-day shower is rarely shampoo, rinse, wash, face and body kind of deal.
Okay.
It also depends on the kind of like rush I'm in. If I've got to like shower before we go to dinner, changes a lot.
All right, I was just curious about your shower routine. Yeah, I mean, like I don't understand why you need to use a towel 30 times. I mean, is Dan Orlovsky like low on towels? Like, is that?
Even then, just throw it in the laundry on your way out the door. What do you? That towel is disgusting.
Well, I'm like the amount of money he makes. I'm sure he doesn't do his own laundry. So
even more of a fair point. Tell your cleaning lady to wash your towels.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it boils down to. This man clearly has never done his own laundry in his life. So when he was young, he did use it 30 times. And now that he's married, his wife's just washing his towels.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like it's always put in the same spot, so he just thinks he doesn't wash it.
Correct.
Okay.
That's got to be it, right? Now we do know that at one point in his life, he had some nasty towels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a locker room guy.
No. That's how staff gets spread.
Yeah.
That's
he would love Southwell High School locker room.
Also, what did he say? Did he say God, he had a follow-up to that tweet too. On how often he takes 30 showers. It was a stupid amount of times. It was I think it was like he said like 2 weeks.
Good Lord.
That's more than 2 a day. See, and I'm not a 2 a day all the time. That's another thing. It's not every day I'm taking 2 a day.
Mm-hmm.
But like sometimes I mean, listen, guys, if you ever Landon knows this, I'm a 6 alarm guy. It takes me a while to wake up. Sometimes I don't have time to shower in the morning. What are you going to do?
Is he a blue Twitter guy? You got the Twitter blue? Because I'm hoping like he would fix, if that was a mistype, he would fix that. Like maybe he meant to say 3 showers. That's more acceptable. 30 showers is, I mean, psychopath.
I want to know what my average is. It's nowhere close to 30.
Yeah, mine's probably average 4, probably. If it's any more than 4, probably it's because like I just don't remember the first time.
See, yeah. Each towel is probably 4, maybe 5 each towel. So that's 10 showers total.
Yeah.
For me. I'm telling you, dude, keep one in rotation too. I swear you get the thought in your mind that they say softer longer.
Okay.
If I enjoyed laundry, I would use a new towel every time. There's nothing better than a fresh towel.
Feels good. No.
That's
fresh
a big water
sheets
bill, though.
is better than a fresh towel.
That's close.
I love fresh sheets.
That's close.
I am.
That's a good one.
Like a fresh pillowcase.
See,
dude.
But so I was going to ask that question. Is a fresh pillowcase the same as a fresh sheet?
Yeah, I feel like you do them all at the same time.
They're synonymous. Yeah. Okay. Because it's probably fresh pillowcase.
Unless you're Dan Orlovsky and you just never wash your sheets at all, probably.
Yeah. How often does he wash his sheets?
Yeah. The question needs to be asked.
Truthfully, I don't wash. I'll put it out there. I don't wash mine enough because my dog makes it miserable to do. It's like you literally put it on and it feels like it needs to be washed the next day.
Really?
Well, it's just I love him to death. He's the sweetest boy in the world. He's just a dog, though, man.
Just a dog.
He probably thinks the same way. He's like, dude, every time Caleb gets in this bed, I swear we need to wash his sheet.
He probably does.
Yeah, that's his exact thought. So listen, I get it.
All right. Well, good show. 9:26.
Yeah, my
Justin.
laptop's about to die.
Yeah, just in time. Go Vols, man. Go Vols.
Go Vols. Let's do it.
Let's win. Win on Saturday. We'll be back on Sunday. Hopefully you're celebrating Sweet 16 birth. Guys, thanks for listening. Have a good Friday. Good rest of your week. We'll bring the boat in.
Robin Advance.
And we out.